Hey guys, welcome back to U-Boat. In the last episode, we actually ran into the destroyers that I thought would be transports. Hopefully we can actually find transport to take out today, but without further ado, let's go back to normal lighting and get things set up to run as usual. Get this course plotted out. To a course like this, and hopefully we can pick something up. Okay, I'm gonna send our radio man to sleep and get some space in between the gauges so that I'm not overlapping them. Let's get the engine rolling. There you go. Get that pump running and then get the compressor running as well. There we go. On the move. We're on the move again. I'll keep you guys posted if we find anything. Okay, I'm back, guys. I'm going to time compress this so that we're not waiting forever to find something. I'm also going to turn on the dive schedule as well. You know what? Let's move the depth gauge on the bottom here. That's what I think we should do. We should move the depth meter, trying to pronounce that correctly, down to the bottom so that none of the buttons are covered. Do the dive schedule, guys. Actually, let's not do that just yet. I'm gonna let my periscope guy recover first. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let the hydrophone guy recover first. I'm gonna time compress this so that it doesn't take forever. Okay, so we have spotted. Okay, that might be the two destroyers again, but I want to make sure that it is not. I'm feeling like it is. Yeah, moving away. Okay, so I'm not gonna worry about that because that most likely is the two destroyers that we found earlier. So we're gonna time compress this a little more again. Ooh, okay. What do we got now? Is it something else? No, we have 3 contacts at this particular point. Moving away. Okay. Now I'm gonna yet again let that. Okay, so now we're out of their range. So now I'm gonna turn on the dive schedule and we're gonna get our hydrophone guy working. Now I'm gonna slow down the ship to crawl forward 1. I'm also going to say to the captain that he needs to go sleep even though his energy is really not all that bad. Ooh, small group. Okay, so where are they facing right now? That is the 2 destroyers, I think, yet again. So we're just gonna kind of ignore that. Okay, you get up, you go to sleep. You're gonna need it. We are on dive schedule, so you need to sleep when you get the chance. And then we're going to turn on the pump. They're already running a diesel compressor, which I don't really like because I like to save my fuel, but we're not exactly low anyways, so it's not that big of a deal. But even so, still find these ships. Ooh, finally got something. So, close it in. Let's go for the intercept of this ship. Alright, so I need to get somebody on the engine, so we'll put this guy on there with 2 crew members. There we go. So now we're gonna turn off the dive schedule, and with the advent, well, I'm gonna get a little closer, I think, before I go to PD, but I'm gonna actually get a little bit closer. Once we see it on the movement map here, we'll go to PD. Okay, alright, I know that this is a British ship at this point in time, so I'm gonna get a little closer, but we are gonna start to go to PD right now, which means I need my boy in the hydrophone. Let's get you on there. Okay, so at this point we're going to begin the process of heating the torpedoes. I also, you know what, I should go to the map just for a second here. And okay, we are at PD at this point, so with that being said, going to start to maintain torpedoes. Actually, I feel like we should get in visual range first before we actually start doing that. That way they don't run out of their heat, if you will, because once they run out, it's more likely to thud. So I want to wait until we actually have visual. Okay, we do have visual right now. We're about 2 kilometers away from it. Actually, we're about, put it right about here. And then, but I want the captain to start to his thing, and the radio man's gonna help him with that. Okay, now we're about 700 something meters from the point that I marked out. So we need to go inside, get our torpedoes warmed up here. I want you to maintain these. Get her done, boys. Torpedo 3 we're maintaining right now. So that's the one we'll probably use to kill it. I'm gonna maintain the others as well, just in case we need to. But I'm hoping that torpedo 3 will actually do the job. Maintain. There we go. Alright, so we're gonna bring the ship to a complete stop. There we go. The ship is now stopping. Relatively exactly where we put it. We are now working on torpedo 2. This is gonna be another deadly strike. Again, the only reason I'm not using manual targeting because we are doing everything else that's realistic. Okay, this is hard difficulty right now, guys. Keep that in mind. But the only reason I am not using manual targeting is because due to my disability, I cannot do it fast enough to be effective. If that makes sense. Live fire at that. I mean, we try it and see what we get. But, yeah, let's go ahead and try. I think what we'll do is we'll pump 2, and although that is below the waterline, so, I mean, maybe 1 will be enough. Here we go. Calculate about. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll actually wait till it slides further in, because yeah, that is kind of an awkward angle, to be honest. It's not terrible, but it's not great either. So now how's the angle? This is perfect, so I'm gonna take that shot and let this fly. Why are we having one? Let me report that this, okay, there we go. That's what it was. Need to report the update. Thinking that should have enough time for the warhead to it's 40 seconds. Yeah, it's got plenty of time for the warhead to start to do its thing, so by the time it gets there it will blow up. It's gonna be a hit, but not exactly where I want to put it, but it definitely worked, no doubt. I think he's pretty much done. Let's just wait and see what happens to him, because that was a nasty hit. Let me go back to the periscope and put another one in there, because I feel like we may need to. So let's see if we do that. I mean, it's listing hard. It really is listing hard. But do we send another one? It is listing very, very hard. I wonder if we just wait. Yeah, I don't know. He's still chugging along there. I'm going to send another one just to be sure. Okay, for the change in valve. Oh, it seems like I don't really waste a torpedo if he's eventually gonna go down anyway, because they were banning ship, it looks like. Surf boat, so just take the deck gun off. Yeah, take the deck gun and let thing have it so it can go down the rest of the way, because it's kind of stuck in the water base. Yep, there we go. That water line hits that finisher off. That ship has been going down by now if we did. Yeah, it's starting to, yep. We've done enough to use another torpedo waste. Why won't this go down? Tough son of a gun. Sure, we're using a lot of ammo. Kinda sucks. Okay, that's the finish hit. Yep, she's going down. Okay, that took longer than expected, but what I should have done is just sent 2 of them, but I wasn't, that was kind of wasteful on the deck gun. But whatever, I guess. That counts, yeah, place parts. Something we could use. You always want to have plenty of replaceable parts. The more I don't have to buy, the better. Honestly, even if it is just 1 more. Ooh, 2 more. Okay, nice. Let's transfer that over. Great. Okay, so next we gotta get the crew members. Okay. Wow, it's taking a long time to sink. 2 to 6 survivors. Invite them on board. Alan Rose and Adam Edwards. Welcome aboard, my friends. Get the ship going once again. That's 2 kills for us. And it is only September 5th. So that is awesome. Okay. So actually, let's wake up my radio man just temporarily. He can go back to sleep when I'm done. But I want to call in our kills so that we get paid here. Alright, so at this point, he's gonna go back to sleep, get his rest. I need to check on the food status. I'm pretty sure the galley at this point probably needs restocked. It really isn't wasn't too bad, but I'll tell you what I am gonna do. I'm gonna restock the deck gun with 22 rounds in there. That will give us 23 rounds to use in the future. As far as the galley goes, it's really not all that bad, but I'm gonna move some more potatoes in here. There we go. Now there's full up on food there, and I'll keep you guys posted if we find anything. Ah yes, yes indeed. I forgot about the compressor. Get the electric compressor going here please at 9,000 marks. We do have the economic system on difficult, by the way, as well. So it's not on easy. You wanna know what? Switch on the dive schedule. We'll wait until that compressor's actually done doing its thing, and then we'll do that. Okay, so now we're gonna switch on the diving schedule. You're going to go to sleep, and the radio man is going to wake up. We're also gonna slow down the ship to very slow speed and let him go to work. Hopefully we find more. So we got 7 days until this so-called technology is done. Production 1 apparently. 7 days and 18 hours. So roughly 2 days, roughly. Ballpark. Well, 8 days I should say. We got something guys. Great. Closing in. Fantastic. I'm gonna pump this up to full head, and there we go. Let's intercept that. We're about 60 something kilometers out. Now, since we got the course all set up, I do want to go to on the surface so that we can actually catch it on the surface. We could catch it at night. Well, not at night, but we could catch it underneath the surface. But the thing is, the distance is 64 kilometers, and we obviously don't have the oxygen to go that far. Like, that's probably beyond that capacity. So I think it would just be better to maybe cut that in half and then dive down again and get the rest of it via under the surface. But we are gonna put myself back on the bridge as well as run that compressor. I just want to cut this down a little bit before we dive down. Maybe 20 kilometers out. We'll cut it down here. Go down and check. Alright, I'm gonna go down and check and see what we got for PD. Gonna stop just to get the efficiency of the hydrophone. There we go. Okay. Now once again, it's closing in. So I'm gonna once again go to full ahead and make sure. Yep, there we go. Now we are actually 20 some kilometers going the other way now, but it's half the distance of what it was. So I think we can manage. Once I do see this thing, I'm gonna want to really change the positioning of the sub. Closing in at medium speed. Why can't I see this thing already? Because I mean, we should be able to. We're only about two. There it is. There it is. There it is. We're only about 2 clicks out. It's crazy. That's nuts. I don't know how that actually happened. How did we get that close to the intercept section and not see the thing? I truly don't understand that. Okay. So now we do see it, only I'm gonna have to head out here just a tiny bit to get the proper angle on this thing, and that's what I'm gonna have to do. I gotta head out this way. Okay, now let's turn it around just briefly here, and let's throw it into reverse for a little bit, just so we can get some distance on this ship. It says that it's Norwegian, so actually what we need to do, I should have checked that. What we need to do is board this thing and make sure that it's an enemy target. So let's surface the boat. Let's throw it into half speed so that we're sure that we're in the path of this thing. Okay, now what we're going to do is stop completely. At this point we are blocking it. Well, not entirely. I'm gonna have it go forward just a little more and stop. Okay, boarding the ship, send a delegation to the ship. I'm going, host Webster's going, and and my radio man going. That's what I think. Since how we don't really have bombs, and take Kaufman with me since he's the navigator. Okay, he faces a cold welcome. That does not bode well for you guys. I don't like that. You ask the captain for the documents, what cargo is loaded on his ship. They are heading. He was prepared and hands them to you right away. He looks a bit nervous. You carefully analyze the documents' contents. According to the documents, his ship is destined for the port of Bergen and transports utilities. If these documents are correct, this ship is not involved in any war effort. In sinking, it could lead to a diplomatic incident to some degree. Alright, well, what we'll do is we will search the cargo hold and see how. Oh, I didn't take anybody with me, so this is gonna be real slow here, searching this ship. That's okay though. I should have took some more guys with me. I wasn't thinking. He's not joking. So we don't have grounds to sink this guy, return his ship. Alright guys, I'll see you guys next time in the next episode of U-Boat. Hope you guys enjoyed. God bless guys. Thank you for your support. There's now 1,252 of you guys. I appreciate it. Some of y'all subscribed, some of y'all disubscribed. It doesn't matter. I appreciate the support that is there. So thank you. This ship that you can see on my screen right now, we did not find anything when we searched it, okay? So we had to let this one go until he gets out of my sight. I'm gonna be watching him to make sure he doesn't change. I'm just going to target him just so that the skipper is looking at him until he's gone. Okay, now I need to get all our instruments ready to go. There we go. We got all our instruments attached and ready to go. You, good sir, are now going to sleep. But it's time to recourse our ship. That's the one thing I find a little annoying. When you go to intercept a ship, it truly makes you reset your course and all that, which is really, if you think about it, just fine. It's just sometimes I wish they kept their course from before you decided to intercept, if that makes sense. That way you can just continue on the same course. Okay, I'm going to turn on the dive schedule. We're gonna have our radio man take a rest while he's waiting for the dive schedule to take an effect. Wow. Yes, I almost forgot about that. Gotta get that compressor running. It's not gonna be much good if I don't return on. I think what we're gonna do though is after we get the compressor going, I'm gonna turn on the pump, make sure the water's all pumped out. It's now dark time, so the red light is currently on. It is now 2200 hours, so we should be going under very soon. We got 4 out of 8 people loaded on this submarine right now, so all compartments are dry. Then why does it have a water drop here? These nights are definitely black, no doubt. Okay, so now we're going to periscope depth, so I'm gonna get things all set up so that we can do that. And slow down to a crawl, please. Also, we gotta get a new person on the engines. Take a rest. I'm gonna take all the sailors off of you, put them on here. Here we go. Okay, so we picked something up. Moving away. So I don't know that we'll be able to get that. What speed is it going right now? Medium speed. Okay. But let me see if we actually can intercept this. Might be that same ship though. Yeah, it's not gonna be worth doing because we're gonna go smack right into Norway. That's probably where it's going. So I'm just going to basically ignore that and continue with what we're doing. But technically we can intercept this ship, whatever it is, but not the time for that. So we're gonna scroll back down to a crawl. Okay, so now we have multiple targets right now. Moving away. If I were to put this in full and then try to intercept said ship, yes, it is not possible like I figured. forward one. There we go. Should be okay. Those ships are moving away, so it's kind of pointless to try and go get them. Moving away. U-48 spotted submarine and U-43 manage engines. Then we're gonna put some crew members on with them. Okay, are we at this point in time under the surface or above the water? Okay, above water. So we need to get the skipper on that as far as that goes. On the bridge you go and take your helper with you. Swing this into standard speed. I'll keep you guys posted on what's going on. Periscope depth. Okay. So at this point in time, I want to slow down the ship and then we'll wake up the radio man to work the hydrophone. There we go. Oh shit. We're almost out of oxygen here. Oh snap. Are we on a scheduled dive thing? Yes we are. I think I'm gonna shorten the times that we're under the water. I think that's what we need to do though. At least until we got like the snorkel installed. So I'm gonna adjust that dive schedule because it's kinda a little too much on the boat. We're really cutting it close for time. There we go. That should work. 3 and 3, most of the time being under the water. Most of the time being above the surface. While having essentially 9 hours under the surface every day. Spread out between 3 hours and 3 hours. Trying to get the compressed air going so we can get some air going back in here. Oh, we spotted something. That's good. Let's see what we spotted though. Let's go into intercept mode, and also we want to turn that dive schedule off for right now. As I get a little closer, then we'll go to PD and we'll start to warm the torpedoes up. Okay, so let's straighten this up a little bit. About 3 kilometers away from the new waypoint. Okay, now we're gonna go to PD, periscope depth. We're going to hit people on the respective instruments so that we can get started, and I'm gonna start to maintain the torpedoes at this particular point. So for the time being, until we see this ship again, I'm going to maintain the interception course. But while we're actually doing that, I'm gonna heat up the torpedoes here. Alright, so now I'm gonna stop the ship, and I'm hoping this is actually a British ship so that we can blow it to heck. But for now, once again, while we're waiting, I'm going to try and get these torpedoes all maintenance. I'd rather be prepared for an attack and need it than not be prepared and need a torpedo ready. It's British. Yes, just what I wanted. Thank you. This would be the 3rd kill, guys. Let's try to get, once again, all these torpedoes maintained. Get torpedo tube 4 ready to go once again. It's starting to cool down. That's why I'm doing it again. It'll give everyone else time to target. Okay. Alright, let's launch 2 at this son of a gun. I used 2 because last time it had a hard time with just 1. So we used 2 just to be sure. And those look like they're tracking quite well, actually. So yeah, they're tracking quite well. They are tracking very, very well. It's going to be a nasty hit if they both hit. I don't think you're going to be able to recover from it if they both hit, because that's going to be a really nasty blow to that transport. That is definitely gonna be a bad day if you get hit by 2 of them at one time. I can only track 1 of them, but they're going to eat 2 of them, or at least that's what it looks like. Yeah, it looks like they're going to eat 2 of them. I'll go back to the torpedo mode as soon as I verify for sure that they're gonna eat these things. Looks like they'll at least eat 1, so here we go. But I'm hoping really that they eat both. And the only reason I'm doing that is because I'm trying to save ammo for the deck gun. And I'm trying to make sure it's a kill. 20 seconds, boys. And then kaboom! Enjoy the time, boys! The other one missed. Dang it, not yet. We did strike it pretty seriously. It said serious damage, so we'll see what happens. And it's listing pretty hard. So, well, going to, now that we've actually hit it, it's like they're abandoning ship though. So that's a good thing. Looks like another kill on our part. Load some more up. Load and maintain. Come on, boys, get this loaded up here. Looks like we're gonna need the deck gun again, guys. Unfortunately, because it's having a bit of trouble sinking. So we gotta go back to the surface, and I really don't like using the deck gun, especially since we don't have HE rounds. That's why I was hoping to hit them with 2 torpedoes. But we'll make do with what we have. Okay, let's pull a little closer to this thing, since it's not going nowhere at this point. Okay, she's actually sunk. That's good. Now let's slow down, drive up to these guys here. Alright, let's take care of the wreckage here. We got a floating medkit, canned bread. Let's take the canned bread. We don't exactly need medkits. Although, I think I'm gonna take the medkit anyway, because having 2 stacks of those actually wouldn't be too bad. Nice. Alright, wreckage. Alright, now we need to pull the medkits out. 2 medkits, and that is a substantial amount of medkits, because we have 5 and 3. So if people get wounded, we should be set for a while. So we don't really need any more medkits, so I'm just gonna take Terry Johnson and whatever this guy's name is. We got 6 of 8 people capacity right now. And it's really nice because now we got 3 kills in the very first mission. That's not too bad at all. I will be right back in a couple of minutes. I gotta go grab something, but I want to get back on that bridge first. Alright, that's cool. Let's get the compressed air going before I unpause this. Okay guys, I'll be right back in a couple of minutes. Okay, I'm back. You know what? Maybe I will take medkit, because if it's, 2 more, that's 2 stacks that we could use. No, it's only 1 more. So we're 1 short of a second full stack of medkits. So that is phenomenal. We haven't used any right now, but they'll come and use later in the war for sure. So, is the air compressor going? Yes, it is. It's actually draining the battery, but that's okay because we're running on the surface right now. Once that battery is done charging and the air compressor is completed, primarily the air compressor, I'm going to start to initiate the dive schedule again. That seems to be working very, very well. We're finding ships on the surface. We're also finding them underneath the surface. So that is phenomenal. And keep in mind, this is a very hard difficulty right now. So this really is nothing short of a test of my skills with this game, despite manual targeting issues that I cannot do. Alright, I'm going to, at this point, get our radio man in to call in the kill, and then we'll turn on the dive schedule. Let's call in that kill. That's 3,050 marks, more than we had before. We are doing fantastic. There's going to be a couple promotions in, no doubt. We now have 12,000 marks. Okay, let's turn on the dive schedule. I'll let you know if we actually find something. Let's get you off of there. Alright, there we go. Come on guys, slow down the game here. Slow down the ship to forward 1, and then what we'll do is we'll get our radio man on a hydrophone. Okay, we're on the surface. So at this point, I'm gonna get back on the bridge, start looking for some contacts, and we're gonna put this in standard speed, keep you guys posted if we find anything. You know what? I think what we should do is turn on the searchlight. Maybe that'll make the nighttime stuff a little easier. And then if we do find something, what we'll do is turn the searchlight off. It's unfortunate that searchlight can't move, but I think it would have an effect on the crew whether they can see something or not. I know we can use the radio to find stuff too, but it's just since we're on a dive schedule, figure we might as well use the radio man when we actually go onto the water. Until at least we get 2 radio men, promotion wise. Okay, slow down buddy. Okay, we're down to a crawl. Now we just need to get the hydrophone guy on here. We got something. It doesn't say whether it's moving away or not. So I'm gonna crank this up and see if we can intercept it. It's gonna end up a little bit out of the patrol zone at this rate. However, if we speed it up, we'll get him well being in the patrol zone. Now Now, what I could do is slow them down a notch and actually just go to the surface, get the compressor going, the electric compressor, and I'm hoping that by the time we cover the 300 some kilometers, I'll probably take a dive around 50 kilometers away. But this is quite the distance to get this ship. And right now, because we're traveling on the surface, we're going 21 knots. So we're really flying, to be honest. I need to switch the engine people out so the one can get some rest. There we go. We are really flying right now. Okay, well, I'm going to, at this point, because we reached the 200 mark, I'm going to jump down to 24 meters, 25 meters down, and have the hydrophone dude get on a hydrophone. We're going to come to a complete stop temporarily just to make sure we're on the right track, because I feel like we pull it at this point, probably pulled ahead of it some. Bring this to a crawl, and we're gonna search for the ship that we had. Okay, so I'm gonna swing it back to full and see what's up. Yeah, we're right on track with this thing. Awesome. So at this point, I think I might go the rest of the distance under the surface. Now we have 2 contacts. One of them is moving away. Actually, I'm gonna go to the surface and just kinda get prepared to spot this thing. 5 kilometers away from the interception point, I'm gonna take another dive. Okay, let's take another dive. First, I'm gonna slow this down to a crawl. Then we're gonna take another dive to about 24 meters. And then we'll get the hydrophone guy where he needs to be. See what we pick up. Right. Okay. Closing in. Alright, here is the deal. Let's hit full throttle, and then we're gonna hit intercept again. We got this thing. I'll keep you guys posted once we do find this dumb thing. We're about 7.4 kilometers away from the target area. I have to watch this, and now I'm also gonna go to periscope depth, because now that we're under periscope depth, we'll be able to see the target. Closing in, medium speed. Is course changing? No, it's not. 4.2 kilometers away. Okay, so we need to come around like this, and then come around like that, and that should put us in optimal position. Let's start to back up just a little bit. It says it's Norwegian, which means we have to pull it over, so we're going to the periscope depth anyway, or the surface anyways. Okay, so at this particular point, I think it would be best to actually stop. Oh boy, he's cutting it close. Really? Okay, stop. We're in range now. Okay. Send delegation to freighter. I'm gonna go. My radio man's gonna go. Kurt Hoffman's gonna go. Along with 6 other dudes on the crew. Okay. There's Philip. Oh, well, he's pretty cordial, isn't he? Alright, well, sure. Okay. You requested. Oh, so, bye-bye, boys. We can't let you go. Taking your crap, too, boys. I know this is a legal prize, but I'm still searching it. Okay, boys. Well, I could order an evacuation, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just gonna blow him to smithereens, basically. Now, you wake up, get these torpedoes done. I'm gonna change the angle of the ship. I should have just, honestly, well, let's wait until we back up some more. Right, so it looks like to me, the only choice that we have at this point in time is to use the deck gun, because we're not going to be able to get a proper angle for anything else. It's too close. I would have to fight to get anything else. Okay, so at the moment, we're now in the deck gun, and I have to be really judicious when doing it. I should have just evacuated, but honestly, ooh, nice hit right there. As a water line hit. Point blank range. Oh, you can see the damage being done here. This is crazy. Storage room. I only got 3 shots left, but it's three holes we can make. So just to be absolutely sure that this goes under, I think at this point we could get an angle for a torpedo attack. I'll bet you we could. Okay, so now we're gonna switch to, and we have to do this quick actually to stop, get 2 dudes on that, as he's gonna have to work fast to target that. Do we have any warmed torpedoes? I want to make sure that we do. We do, but yeah, hang on. Oh, he's already got you. Never mind. You can have one more on that. There we go. I need you to re-maintain this one. Make sure we got enough distance. I think we do. Just try and make absolutely sure that we got enough distance. I don't think that's going to need more than 1 torpedo because we hit it so many times. So I'm not gonna overdo it. Yeah, it's starting to actually sink. Okay. Torpedo 3. That's gonna be a killing blow. It might just sink on its own, but I just want to be sure that it does. This is going to be the 4th kill of the mission, guys. We are doing astronomical damage to the British shipping right now. Just in a few days. It might miss just because it's a little deep under there, but I'm hoping it actually hits. I did put the reticule on the bow of the ship, so we will see what transpires. But I'm hoping that this actually does blow up to ensure that this actually sinks. Because right now it's pretty much dead in the water basically. Oh my gosh. We're going to entirely miss that. That's insane. That's kind of sad. I really don't want to let this thing go. Let's try doing this. Let's try diving to periscope depth. It's like it's dead in the water. Alright, so I know we're gonna have to load the torpedo tubes again. And honestly, we wasted a couple of torpedoes in this mission, but honestly, it's really trivial because we did a lot of damage too. I'm actually surprised that thing is still moving. Yeah, that thing is still moving like that. That's insanity. Let me get this straight. Yeah, it is still moving like that. That is insane. Holy crap. I can't believe that thing is still moving. Okay, it is sunk. So, at this point, because it is sunk, we can go to the surface. It took a while for that thing to sink. Holy crap. That's absolute craziness right there. That took so freaking long to sink. And it was still moving with all those holes in it. Jeez, that's crazy. Replacement parts, preserved pork. What, did the captain die or something? Check this one. Nope, he just went with the other ones. Philip, we're taking you too, buddy. Okay, so at this point, we have 8 of 8 people that we can hold. So we're bringing back quite the haul. I'm gonna get my radio man up on the radio so we can call in the kill. That's another 3,000 marks. There we go. Well, it's not exactly 3,000 marks, but it's close. We now have 19. Alright guys, I'm gonna end that episode right here. And I'm gonna put these episodes probably together just to make a nice, exciting mission. And I don't have to make 2 different videos. But if you do like what you see, don't forget to push the like and subscribe button. And I'll see you guys later.